All right, welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that is so important, creating a consistent brand identity. That key to looking sharp and professional, well, absolutely everywhere. Let's just dive right in. Okay, let me ask you a question right off the bat. Does your brand ever feel like it has a split personality? I mean, it's a super common problem, a real pain point for a lot of people. And honestly, it can be way more damaging than you might think. So picture this. Someone finds you on Instagram. They're loving your vibe, right? It's fun, it's fresh, it's engaging. So naturally, they click the link to your website. And suddenly, it's like they've landed in a completely different universe. The colors are all wrong, the logo looks kind of weird, and that little spark of trust, that connection they just felt, poof, it's gone. That right there, that is the brand disconnect problem in a nutshell. But hey, the good news? It's a totally solvable issue. You just need to understand what's actually going on behind the scenes. And here's the bottom line. This isn't just about looking good. When your brand looks different all over the place, it just creates confusion. And let's be real, confused customers, they don't buy. It's a huge roadblock.
So the big question is, how do we fix this? Well, the very first step is getting your head around this one idea. Your brand is so much more than just your logo. It's a whole system, a family of elements that all need to work together.
Yeah, your brand identity it's the whole package. It's every single visual and, verbal thing you put out into the world. Just think of it like your brand's unique personality, but it's expressed through things like your logo, your color choices, the fonts you use, and even the way you sound in your writing. And you know what? Getting this right has a massive, massive impact. Just look at this number, 23%. Research from Lucid Press actually found that keeping your brand consistent everywhere can boost your revenue by up to 23%. I mean, for any business, that is an absolute game changer. Okay, so right about now, you're probably thinking, all right, I'm sold. How do I actually do this? Well, it all breaks down into 5 core elements. And don't worry, we're going to walk through every single one step by step. And here they are. You've got your logo system, your color palette, your typography rules, your imagery style, and finally, your brand voice. Think of this as your roadmap, your blueprint for building that professional, consistent brand we've been talking about. First up, let's talk about the logo. And here's the thing that trips a lot of people up. You need more than just one logo file. A truly professional logo is actually a system. You need different versions for different situations, right? Like you need the full version for your website header, but then a smaller icon-only version for your social media profile pic. And you'll even need simple one-color versions for when you're printing on stuff. Okay, next on the list, colors. And I mean exact colors. We're talking specific codes for every single context. So you have hex and RGB codes for anything on a screen, but then you have CMYK, which is absolutely crucial for anything you print. Ever wonder why your brand's beautiful blue looks kind of dull and muddy on your business card? This is probably why. All right, let's move on to typography. The fonts you pick, they say so much about your brand's personality. The real key here is to set up a clear hierarchy. Pick one font for your big, bold headlines, the attention grabbers, and then another one that's super easy to read for paragraphs and longer text. When you stick to these rules, everything just looks so much cleaner and more intentional. Now this one gets overlooked all the time. Your imagery style. All your photos, all your graphics, they need to feel like they're part of the same family. So you have to decide on a vibe. Are you bright and airy, or are you more dark and moody? Do you use simple flat icons or big, bold graphics? Having a consistent filter or editing style is what really ties it all together. It's magic. And last but definitely not least, we've got the one non-visual element, your brand voice. This is all about how you sound in writing. Think about your captions, your emails, your website copy. I mean, just picture the difference between the super playful, kind of snarky voice of Wendy's on Twitter, and then compare that to the serious, authoritative tone of a company like IBM. They're wildly different, right? But both are super consistent. You've got to define yours and then stick with it. So, okay, you've gone through the work, you've defined all 5 of these elements. Now what do? Well, you need to put them all together in one place, your brand's official rulebook. I absolutely love this analogy. Think of your brand like a wardrobe. Your core personality doesn't change, right? But the outfit you wear adapts to the context. You're not going to wear the same thing to a big business meeting that you'd wear hanging out on the weekend. It's the same idea for your brand on, say, LinkedIn versus TikTok. The core identity is the same, but the execution, it adapts. And that's where a brand style guide comes in. It's basically a single document that lays out all your rules. It's got your do's and don'ts for the logo, all your exact color values, your font names and how to use them, some guidance on image style, and even examples of your tone of voice. This guide is your secret weapon for keeping everything consistent, especially if you start hiring people or working with freelancers. So why are we going through all this trouble? Why does all this work matter so much? Because at the end of the day, it all comes down to one thing: trust. Consistency is literally the foundation of trust with your audience. And to help you get there, let me give you a heads up on the top 3 mistakes we see people make all the time. First, using way too many different fonts. It just looks messy. Second, completely ignoring those CMYK values for print materials. And third, trying to force one single logo file to work for absolutely everything. If you can just avoid those 3 things, you are already way ahead of the game. So really, the goal here is pretty simple. It's about instant recognition. You want someone to see your post or your website or even your business card and just know, oh yeah, that's them. It's all about creating that seamless, familiar, and trustworthy experience. And that really just leaves us with one final question for you to think about. Take a look at your own brand, all the places it shows up, online and off. Is it telling one single consistent story, or is it sending a bunch of mixed signals? Making sure it's telling that one clear story, well, that might just be one of the most powerful things you can do for your business.